Good evening, everyone. My name is Deacon Julie Smith, and I'm glad to share a devotion with you tonight, and it's called Anchored in the Storm. This is a devotion of a reflection of a time in my life when my world was shaken. There will be moments in our lives that will test us and shake us to the core. Moments when someone that is near and dear to our heart and who we love is hurting, and all we can do is sit, watch, and pray. That was my life in 2023 when my husband became really sick. I remember standing beside his bedside, looking at a man that was so strong, in control, full of energy, laying there helpless, hooked up to tubes, IVs, barely could open his eyes. And all I could say, how did we get here? You know, fear tried to creep in, and I got to be honest with you, it did. It really did. My heart felt unsettled, and nothing felt steady anymore. It didn't seem real. And like I said to you, I was like, how did we get here? I tried to be strong, but inside I was really, really scared. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what the doctors was going to come and say. And I felt helpless, and I found myself just sitting there wondering what was going to happen next. And also, I didn't even know how to pray at that time. Sitting by his bedside, I would reach for his hand just to reassure myself that he was still here, trying to whisper a prayer, but I'm barely getting out any words because I was filled with so much emotion. Then anxiety and worry would quickly creep in out of the blue, and I would have to step out the room because I couldn't even breathe sometimes, and I didn't want my husband to see what I was going through and falling apart in front of him. But as I sat there, I heard God whisper a word, and he said, anchored. And I was like, wow, God. Then this image came to mind. When a ship isn't anchored, it drifts quietly with the current. No effort, no warning, pulling in the wrong direction. In much the same way, our lives can be pulled in the wrong direction, causing us to drift. This can happen when we aren't anchored in Jesus Christ, and the storms of life will pull us towards fear, doubt, and discouragement. And before we even realize it, this is even happening. Unfortunately, all of us will face moments that will shake us to the core. Losing a loved one, experience disappointment, setbacks. When they come, they can be unbearable. Like the ground is being pulled from underneath you. I want to remind somebody today, the presence of a storm doesn't mean that God has left you or me. His promises become even more evident in those moments when fear floods in. His word steadies us, and it will rise up in us. Worry will no longer exist. His faithfulness will hold us together. When our hearts feel overwhelmed, he is our rock. God never intended for his children to drift, but to be anchored in a secure place. Just as an anchor holds a ship steady in the midst of a storm, our hope in Jesus Christ keeps us grounded and secure during the most difficult and painful moments of our lives. When trials comes, we are to stand in faith and trust God because he is our firm foundation and he is unshakable. Hebrews 6:19 reminds us we have this hope as an anchor for the soul, firm and secure. In the middle of long days and restless nights, I began to understand what unshakable hope truly was. It wasn't pretending that everything was fine or forcing myself to be strong or ignoring the reality, what we were facing. Unshakable hope was this: choosing to believe that God was present even when the situation was overwhelming. And I came to realize something. Unshakable hope wasn't about me being strong. It was about leaning on God when I was weak. The kind of hope is built on who God is. God is faithful. Even when our circumstances are changing around us, He is present. He promised that He will never leave us. He's unchanging even when the situation is changing. During the season, God became my anchor. I found myself more in His Word, spending more time in His presence. And when I felt alone, His presence reminded me that He would never leave me nor forsake me. And that's the confidence that I had in Jesus Christ when I was going through the storm. Looking back, I can see God's fingerprints all over this unfortunate situation, on the nurses, on the doctor, the many complicated reports that we will receive, and the uncertain nights. God was right there. He never left us. Every minute, every hour, every breath, every tear, He never left us, not once. Hope held me steady. It did not remove the storm, but it kept me from sinking. And through it all, God reminded me that He was my anchor. He was my firm foundation, and He will be faithful till the end. So today, someone needs to take a breath and rest in this. Your hope is not in what you see, but in the God who sees you. He has carried you before. He will carry you again. He has been faithful before, and He will be faithful again. Find peace today in knowing that God is constant. Even when everything around you is changing, He does not change. Trust in God's promises. Even when you can't see how things will work out, trust that God is working it out behind the scenes. So today, I will challenge you, drop your anchor. Stay in God's word. Stay in His presence. Surrender your fears and concerns to God. Breathe and trust God because He is your anchor. So I'm just going to leave this with you as I close. Remember, unchangeable hope is a deep, steady confidence that remains firm even when life is uncertain, or even when it's difficult, when things are completely out of our control. It's the kind of hope that doesn't rise and fall with our circumstances. And the God that we serve cannot be moved, cannot be shaken, because He is unshakable. Thank you.